2 years ago, Fast and Furious began the final phase of the blockbuster franchise. Fast X. Part 2 is meant to be the last movie in the epic saga built around Vin Diesel's Dominic Toretto, and we were all led to believe that Fast X's cliffhanger ending was done to leave us waiting desperately for the resolution. After all, the last time audiences got to experience the Fast and Furious universe, Dom was clutching Little B as Dante prepared to blow up a dam, which would surely kill them, just moments after some of Dom's closest friends seemingly died in a plane crash. Oh, and then Luke Hobbs returned at the Fast X post-credits scene to further generate excitement. Even if you didn't love Fast X, how it set up the next chapter was undoubtedly enticing. There was a roadmap for where everything was going, and a sense that audiences wouldn't have to wait long to get a resolution to the cliffhanger and the saga as a whole. Unfortunately, time has proven that is far from the truth. It's become clear that Fast 11 is lacking a clear direction at this point. Universal previously planned for the movie to come out in 2026, but that has now changed, with Diesel revealing earlier this year that April 2027 is now the target for the franchise's conclusion. While we're still basically 2 years away from then, there's a lack of true movement on what should be a crowning moment for a popular franchise like this. No one other than Diesel seems to have an understanding of what is going on, with Jason Momoa the latest to offer a disappointing update on Fast 11. The actor, who is slated to return as Dante, the franchise's final big bad, has confirmed he does not have a script. He's seemingly been left in the dark about what is coming with the next film and when he's needed for work. That uncertainty can be felt with the franchise as a whole regarding the plan. The fact that Universal and Diesel have let things be so quiet on Fast 11 is counterproductive. A cliffhanger ending like Fast X should only have been done if all the plans were in place for the next film, meaning there should have already been a nearly, if not fully, completed script, a set production date, and a confirmed release date. 2 years later, none of that is in place. It's a baffling place for the franchise to be in. Diesel has been teasing the two-part conclusion with the 10th and 11th installments for years. There's been plenty of time to figure out how to bring this story to a close. It made sense to believe everyone knew what was coming next, and when considering Dwayne Johnson's return, too, his appearance ignited plans for a new film featuring Hobbs and Dante to bridge the gap between Fast X and Fast 11. But in the 2 years since its announcement, there's been no movement there either. Diesel may still be teasing updates on the film from time to time, like confirming Brian O'Connor's return and a Los Angeles setting a few months ago. His comments create a sense of planning and progression happening with the movie. But until some more concrete developments happen, Fast 11's status will remain unclear. And as long as that is the case, there's no reason for us to be all that excited. We could be 2 years away from the film, or we could be 2 years away from being 2 years away. That won't change no matter what Diesel posts online or says in public until Universal officially confirms its future. By announcing the two-part finale without any set plans in place, there's a chance that Fast and Furious won't get the ending it deserves. It already seems likely that Fast 11 will skip past Fast X's cliffhanger and advance the story forward, despite how frustrating that would be. That move might not make sense narratively, but it could be for the best logistically by the time this sequel finally gets off the ground. With its targeted April 2027 release, the final Fast and Furious movie will come out roughly 4 years after its predecessor, which is a record-long gap for this franchise. This increases the risk factor with Fast 11. Audiences may have largely moved on from this story and lost interest in it by the time it finally comes together now. This would have been easily avoided if Fast 11 went into production shortly after Fast X and ensured there was only a small gap between the saga's two-part culmination. The nostalgia factor could still be strong here and propel the last Fast and Furious movie to success if everything goes right. But concerns over how well it will do are legitimate. Perhaps that's what is holding this up at this point. Universal has understandable reasons to pump the brakes for now. Fast X's box office didn't achieve the heights the franchise is used to, which could have led the studio to crack down on the follow-up's development and ensure it would bring the series back to its usual money-making ways. A lesser result financially would be a sour note for the series to end on. It's also worth mentioning that Diesel has been entangled in a sexual assault lawsuit for the last year with his ex-assistant. While some of the claims were dismissed in June, the actor hasn't been part of any new productions since the lawsuit surfaced. Universal could be waiting for a resolution before moving forward with an expensive blockbuster with a focus on Diesel. Extending the wait for Fast 11 also runs a risk of making the production even more complicated. Diesel has shifted his focus to making a sequel to The Last Witch Hunter. Momoa has found new, possibly recurring roles in the DC Universe and Street Fighter. Johnson is even transitioning into more of a dramatic actor. With the expansive cast of the series, getting everyone's schedules to align could prove to be difficult if there isn't a long-term plan for the movie in place. Fast and Furious 11 can't afford to keep winging it and must start making serious strides if it's going to get to theaters before audiences completely lose interest. The Fast and Furious movies have delivered plenty of thrilling moments of spectacle that can excite entire crowds in a theater. It needs to end in a similar fashion to have a satisfying conclusion with all the hype and fireworks behind it to build that anticipation. For now, it feels like it's stalled out before crossing the finish line.